Let's watch the news with me.
But first, for months, Sissy thought she was in relationship bliss with Darron. They even met each other's kids. That's when he presented her with an investment opportunity.
And I mean dashing, in every sense of the word.
Goodbye.
But why? Could it be the warning poster featuring his mug taped to power poles outside his house? You see, Darron deals in love and luxury, and some people allege outright lies.
Are you a romance scammer, sir?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
This is Sissy Wang. She's an entrepreneur with more than 1.5 million social media followers. Sissy bumped into Darron on a dating app.
Yeah, he's a gentleman. He knows how to put things together in terms of his outfit style. He picked designer brands.
Their relationship blossomed, introducing one another to each other's kids. When Darron offered Sissy an investment opportunity on a Bondi property deal, Sissy laments her loss on her socials, but she's never named Darron Levin in her claims.
Why out him now?
Because the public needs to know and they need to be aware.
Sissy's just discovered Darron Levin's dark secret.
I lost $30,350 to a man I met on Bumble last year. At first I thought I became a victim of a romance scam. That's why I put a video in here on my channel. But after I spoke publicly, more people came forward. I have obtained court documents, bankruptcy information, and records that reveal a much larger picture. I discovered the man that I trusted had already been sentenced for, let me clearly say that, dishonestly obtaining a financial advantage by deception. I discovered that the MBA qualification displayed on his LinkedIn profile could not be verified by the University of New South Wales. I discovered that individuals and business were allegedly losing far greater than what I have lost. And even after all this, I was being told that he's still active on the dating apps. So today I'm naming him Darron Marc Levin. This is not just about a story that a relationship ended badly. This is no longer about a man that failed to repay his girlfriend, because I believe this is a fraud. I'm speaking up here because I do not want any other people to lose their money, their trust, their confidence, and their faith. Before I continue, I want to make something very clear. This video is based on my personal experience, my bank records, messages, voice recordings, official documents I have reviewed, information reported to police, allegations provided by other individuals and business. Not everything I discuss here in this video has been determined by a court yet. The people who contact me will not be identified. I will not reveal their names, phone numbers, workplaces, email addresses, bank information, or any other details that could expose them or their families. Some have told me they have fear of retaliation or legal threats. Their identities are not important to this story. What matters is the pattern that they describe and the evidence that they have preserved. So do not approach Darron. This video is about awareness, accountability, and protect potential victims. It's not about revenge. In my previous video, I went through the dating. I just wanted to briefly summarize. I met Darron on Bumble. We dated for approximately 7 months. During the relationship, I transferred him a total of $30,350. I gave him the money in a good faith. Yes, I do really like him. He spoke confidently about his work, his financial situation, and his family, his future goals. I believe that I was helping a successful business person who was temporarily experiencing financial difficulties. I did not believe that I was giving money to someone who would disappear or refuse to pay. He did not appear to somebody who struggled to survive because he has multiple luxury items. He appears to be well educated, well spoken, professionally established, and well connected. He also talked about his children a lot and their activities. He is a family guy. He's a dad of 2. He gave me the impression that he's financially independent and stable, and that repayment was not a problem. But the money never came back. It's been 1.5 years now. At first, when I chased up the repayment, he told me that he's going to give me tomorrow, then tomorrow failed, then the next week failed, always excuses, giving me some false statement from his trust manager. At first, I wanted to believe him because I care about him. That is what many people misunderstand about relationship-related financial manipulation. It does not normally begin with somebody asking for $30,350 on the first date. Trust is being built first. Emotional attachment being created first. I was attached emotionally when I gave him the money. I was the person become part of his daily life, at least in the text message. He learned how you think, your work schedule, your daily routine, what you care about. As me, as a single mom, I care about my kids. He talk about family stuff. He makes me feel responsible for helping out. By the time when money is requested, you no longer feel you are helping a stranger. You are helping a long-term friend you trusted. And you believe that you're helping someone you really care about and you really love. So by October 2025, the promises and delays no longer made sense to me. Things don't add up. Something felt seriously wrong. That's the time when I stepped into the police station and I wanted to find out what's going on. When I first shared my story publicly about 2 months ago, that was about 6 months after I first reported to the police, I kept his full identity and name in private because I was frightened. I had already been threatened with multiple defamation or defamation threats. I didn't know how far these threats would go and how long it will keep on me. I also wanted to give time for the authorities to investigate from October last year until now. But after my video spread widely across the internet, people have stepped forward and telling me more stories. Somebody recognized a similar story and someone recognized him. And what I have learned since then have completely changed my perspective toward this story. In his LinkedIn, when we first started to meet up, he has experience in Westfield, which gained a lot of trust. In such a large name, under his working experience, of course everybody would believe something. He was in the management of Westfield Group and told me about his working experience and how he's highly connected with this merchandise in Westfield. It kind of gives me the feeling that he really knows what he's doing. Professional LinkedIn profile gained me a lot of trust. And I want to be very clear here. I'm not alleging that Westfield had any involvement in his private financial dealings. I'm not suggesting that the company knew what was happening in his personal life. I'm explaining why the employment history shown on his LinkedIn profile affected my judgment. When you see a well-known company name, management experience, a professional career network, and a strong networking experience, you would just naturally think that this person has been checked by someone. You just assume this person has professional accountability. You would assume their identity and work is all real. His LinkedIn also claimed that he has an MBA degree in University of New South Wales. This qualification mattered to me. It made him appear educated, capable, and financially knowledgeable. But after I began investigating his educational background, I was being verified. He never held a degree whatsoever in the University of New South Wales, let alone the MBA that he claimed in his LinkedIn account. All these results have completely changed the view how I see these platforms now. I saw Westfield's name, I saw the University of New South Wales, I saw MBA, and I saw a family dad. All of these helped creating a trust to give him $30,350. I just thought LinkedIn was a trustworthy platform. I believe that employment and qualifications on LinkedIn should have been checked by someone, by the system, by the platform, or by the institutions themselves. But it's never been verified. This is a bit shocking. How many ordinary people like me just look at professional profiles and assume the information is reliable? I also question how inaccurate or outdated information could remain connected to a former employer's name. But I later understood that a company may not be able to directly edit another person's personal LinkedIn account. The individual controls the profile. This is why I believe that professional platforms need stronger verification process. A company logo should not automatically create credibility for an unverified claim. A university's name should not be allowed to function as a proof of qualification that has not been confirmed. A professional-looking profile is not a background check. It is not a proof of honesty, and it is not a proof that someone is who they claim to be. I learned this lesson after I spent $30,350. During our relationship, Darron also has photographs of him doing some voluntary work, charity work at the Vinnie's. He claimed to be helping out on the weekend. But just things don't add up because you are so busy during the week doing Zoom meetings and board meetings, and now all of a sudden on weekends you are not even with your family, you are helping out as a charity person for nothing. Well, this is very great and very kind of you. Things like that, he always gives you very legit explanation. But later, after obtaining the court document, I discovered that he had been ordered to complete 400 hours of community service. Discovering the community service requirement made me question whether work presented to me as a voluntary charity may actually have been court-ordered service. That distinction matters. The image of a generous man voluntarily out of goodwill helped building my trust. If the activity was connected to a criminal sentence, that would create a very, very different impression. The most significant information I discovered is confirmed in a New South Wales District Court document. The document identified the offender as Darron Marc Levin. The matter was listed on the 19th of June 2024 before Judge T. Gutterman at the District Court in Sydney's Downing Centre. The offence recorded by the court was dishonestly obtaining a financial advantage by deception. The document states that he was sentenced to a term of imprisonment of 21 months, commencing on 19th of June 2024 and expiring on 18th March 2026. Well, mind you, he connected me on Bumble late February, had our first date early March. The sentence was ordered to be serviced in the community through an intensive correction order under supervision and conditions. In other words, he does not have to go to the jail, but he has to serve community correction. For example, the charity work. The court ordered him to pay $100,000 in compensation to a company. This means the order commenced whilst we were dating. I didn't know he was sentenced for dishonesty behavior. Other individuals and business came forward. Chapter 4. After I published my first video, I received a lot of records and documents claiming that they've lost money because of Darron. I'll only describe them in general terms. As of the record shows, AFSA declares that his status is bankruptcy. All the known creditors include Amex Express, $114,190. Amex, $100,000. Oh. ANZ Banking Group, $22,753, along with many other business. Allegations raised by individuals and business. I can go on and on forever. If you want to read out the text format, read in the news here. I'll put the link in the description down below so you can see this incredible investigation reporter has put all these evidence. He's a hero. I'm summarizing here what the allegations are. A Sydney cafe owner alleges losing $50,000 in a property investment. A Sydney doctor alleges losing $60,000 plus more than $40,000 paid in cash. A Sydney dentist losing $50,000 in another property investment. Commercial business lost a total of $20,000 with 2 employees losing over $40,000. A distribution company lost $259,000. Investment company lost approximately $2 million. Multiple finance and commercial business also have suffered these financial losses because of Darron. Of course, a lot of them have never been verified by court yet. It's in the proceeding. Some of the figures I mentioned here may overlap somewhere or the other. For this reason, I do not want to add everything up and make a dramatic total. This pattern just felt so painfully similar to mine. See, you went to the police. Why haven't you recovered your money back? Well, this is a frustration reality. A criminal investigation and the money recovery is a separate thing. One civil matter, one criminal. Police will press charge some criminal offense, but to recover the money becomes a civil matter. Police cannot automatically return your money back just because being determined this is a criminal offense. Even when somebody is legally recognized as owning money, it does not mean assets are available to repay every creditor. Let's just say somebody's being declared bankruptcy. He has no money to pay you. You just have to, well, suck it up. After my video became viral on the internet, after people can start to spread words, I have received multiple threats involving defamation proceedings, defamation proceedings.
Mate, I want to talk to you about Sissy Wang.
Yes.
She's missing 30 grand. Where is it?
Listen,
Where is it, bro?
Let's talk about it very clearly. It's going through Supreme Court, and I'm not going to say anything about it anymore.
Mate,
We checked with the Supreme Court. There is no action against Sissy.
At first, I felt incredibly intimidated. I'm not a lawyer, I'm a photographer, I'm a business owner, and I am a mom. He knows where I live, where I work, where my kids go to school. Being told that I was going to be taken to the Supreme Court was very frightening. After I became more persistent of returning my money, I also received phone calls and text messages and voice memo just giving me enough threat and harassment. Listen to those was not pleasant. Because some of these voice messages made me extremely fear of my own safety and for the safety of my kids. What I also have obtained from other victims, he also claimed to be part of the very famous gangster group, the Alamadings. It just made me feel extremely frightened. Well, people by now focus on the loss of $30,350. You would probably ask me to move on. Yes, I have moved on, but the damage is far more than the financial loss. Yes, this is a significant amount of money, the hard money that I earned through my hands. Of course, I want it to be returned, but the damage was never just financial. It just scattered my trust all the way to pieces. So after him, I no longer trust any people that I met on the dating apps. I start to doubt the respected company's name, university qualifications, professional networks. No longer looking at LinkedIn how I used to look at. For a long time, dating itself was extremely hard and frightening. When I first met someone through these dating apps after him, I do not automatically just open up at the first date. No curiosity whatsoever until later, until solid trust is established. I always began with doubts. Sometimes a man would say something completely ordinary, but deep down in my heart, I question these. Now going back to Port Point and King's Cross, it just gives me a lot of bad memories and shadows walking on the streets. It brings me all the things that he has said, and his picture just haunted me. Now I'm slowly fixing up myself and healing myself. I don't want this event or this single person to traumatize me my entire life and broke my trust to anybody. I still trust people. There are nice people out there. Most of them are really nice, but it was like a shadow. Well, at the time when I just freshly divorced, I came across this. Now, although I would say he broke my trust and gave me broken hearts, I know the fact that all these obstacles and the falls is just part of my life and made me who I am. Once I grow out of it, I would become stronger. This is where my position after almost a year of discovering this very hard truth. Yes, I'm still in the process of balancing a good trust in a great, healthy relationship. I'm still learning how to judge, still learning how to grow, but I am in a better position now. Since I can speak up this whole event publicly with no shame, I've healed a lot. But healing does not mean forgetting. It just means some memories do not get control of every step of your current life. One of the most meaningful things come from sharing my story is learning that it may already have protected other women. Since publishing my first video, women have contacted me after recognizing the name, the photographs, or the pattern that I described. Some said they have recently matched with him. Some said he had been communicating with him through dating apps. As I am aware, he's continually being active on these dating apps. I cannot continually being active and responsive to any other victims or potential women that may fall into his traps. That's why I'm making these videos available online. Do not ask me questions or do not expect me to give you any information related to this matter beyond what I have presented. While I cannot at the moment recover $30,350 that I paid, perhaps I can stop someone from questioning her own intelligence for years. Perhaps I can encourage somebody to verify a qualification, check a professional claim, or just simply as refusing to transfer money into your friend or somebody that you met on the dating app's account. This is why I choose to speak publicly. I do not want revenge, I do not want publicity, I do not want unnecessary attention. I just want peace. After this video, I hope I no longer need to make a second video. Well, if you know somebody who is using the dating apps, by all means share this video to your friend. Maybe you can save her another heartbreak. But also please be mindful, do not share it to encourage harassment. Share it as a reminder that a professional profile is not proof. A university qualification displayed online is not a proof. A confident person is not necessarily an honest person. If somebody's asking you to transfer the money during a relationship, just slow down. I'm still waiting for my money being recovered. Well, he denies owing me money, but listen to this. This is the message he sent me.
Yes, I do owe you the money and I'm happy to pay you. I'm waiting for my lawyer to give me instructions and we'll get this settled. My legal team is about to launch it. You're thinking the $30,300, you're going to get paid. You're going to be paying me millions and millions of dollars. You want to keep on creating and go out and do more social media and more media about me. Let me tell you something, my legal team, very soon, okay, your platforms are going to be blocked.
I still believe a healthy, long-term, honest, loyal relationship would be possible. I just have one last question to ask. Imagine somebody you trusted and took your money. And then you realize that other people may also be affected, or at least at risk of losing their money too. What would you do? Would you stay silent, write it off and move on? Or would you choose to speak up, knowing the fact that you will receive large amount of criticism, threats, and unwanted attentions, or potentially negative impact on my life and my business? I made my decision because I could not live with the thought that my silence would lead someone else to be harmed. What would you have done if you were in my position? Comment below. Please leave the comments respectful. My name is Sissy Wang. See you again in my next chapter.